Yeah. All right, we're live. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here. Great full room this morning for a fun announcement today. One of the most important things that I do as mayor is build teams. In fact, I would say it's probably the most important role as mayor is to make sure you put the right people in the right seats. We use that term all the time in the office, especially in director roles, which are appointed by the mayor. And especially by a mayor who only has a year left. So making sure that we have the right leaders in place to carry on kind of the momentum that we have in the city is going to be really, really important. And we started last month a search for the next leader of the Siouxland Libraries, which is, as you all know, a regional library system in coordination with Minnehaha County and a lot of our regional communities. And we actually received applicants from all over the country. There's a lot of interest in this position, which is not surprising because we have a great library system, and Sioux Falls is a great city. And so there was a lot of interest from large library systems, small library systems, and we also had a lot of interest internally as well. But I'm excited to announce today that I'm going to be appointing Alicia Boyson as the next director of Siouxland Libraries. And during that interview process, Alicia just really stood out. She was endorsed by our library board of trustees as well. For those of you who aren't familiar with the process, there's 2 city departments that have boards that also are kind of a quasi-governing board. The library has a board, as well as our public health, Department of Health, they also have a board. So when we have a director change with the library and the health department, they have boards that also play a role in the hiring and kind of the advice and consent of that director. So our board was involved in that process, and they also endorsed Alicia as the next director. She's worked with Siouxland Libraries for 20 years. Since 2005, she currently serves as our senior librarian of technology and communication. So several things just really stood out for me with Alicia during this process. One is her strong history with our library system. We had some people that we interviewed or we were looking at from outside of Siouxland Libraries. And, it's from some large markets. But I think having candidates from inside your library system that really understand the culture, understand the teams, understand what we've built here, I think is really important. And so her strong history with our library system was important. I think she's very committed to our existing programming and what we're doing already, but is also not entrenched in that and wants to look at new ways of building, better mousetraps. So I don't think she's committed to anything and wants to explore new delivery models for our residents. Our library models of delivering services are changing rapidly. And you look at even digital delivery of services is changing very, very rapidly. People consuming audiobooks and podcasts and a lot of their material electronically. And the cost model for that is changing rapidly. And even is the branch model that we have right now with large branches, is that the future of libraries, or is it micro branches? Or we have to look at all these different models of delivery into the future, and I know that Alicia will be doing that, and she just won't settle for the status quo. She reminds me a little bit of myself in that she's a very kind person. But don't mistake her kindness for weakness. And sometimes people mistake my kindness for weakness. And it's like, hey, we're kind people, but we're hard chargers too. And so I'm very proud of this appointment. I think she's going to be a great leader for the Siouxland Library. So I would like to introduce Alicia to make a few remarks on where she sees the library headed. So give her a round of applause as I introduce Alicia.
Thank you, Mayor. And also thank you, everyone, for being here today. I'm truly honored to speak to this group as the new director of Siouxland Libraries. My love of libraries isn't new. For as long as I can remember, libraries have been a part of my life. I grew up in rural Lake County, kind of in between Madison and Humboldt, and being on a farm, there's no better opportunity to get off than go into town. And when my dad would go into the sale barns on the weekdays, my sister and I, that would be the first thing we'd ask is if we could go along. And we certainly didn't want to sit at the sale barn. We wanted we wanted him to drop us off at the library, and we just have a lot of fun memories of spending time there. However, I don't think that's when my desire, my thought I would become a career in libraries. It really wasn't until a few months after Jody hired me back in 2005 at the Colton Library where I really gained a passion for helping our community. So after that few short months in Colton, I took an opportunity to take a full-time role down at the downtown library. And over the past 20 years, I've really just kind of moved throughout our library system, taking roles at our branches here in Sioux Falls, and also managing several of our rural locations. Siouxland Libraries serves Sioux Falls and Minnehaha County with 13 different branches and a bookmobile. Something I've always really been passionate about as a librarian is wherever we're at, whatever community we're in, whatever library it is, that we're meeting the needs of those residents. And when I was at the Rural West branches, we had the opportunity to move the branch from the school out onto Main Street. And one of the things we were able to do there was create a program that we call Expanded Access, where it allows the public into the buildings when we're not there. This was a huge collaboration between our City of Sioux Falls IT, the City of Hartford, even the Minnehaha County Sheriff's Department to make this work. And I hope I'll be able to lead Siouxland in a similar way, is to partner with those stakeholders, bring big ideas to the residents that will help us connect them to a world of ideas and information to enrich their lives. Our commitment to prioritizing children in our communities is extremely important to Siouxland Libraries. We believe investing in our youngest residents will strengthen the future of our communities. This dedication shines through our vibrant early literacy programs, a diverse collection of books and resources for young minds, and engaging activities designed to ignite curiosity and to have a curiosity for love of learning. Our goal is to create an inviting environment where everyone feels welcome at the library, where they can explore, learn, and grow, ultimately fostering a knowledge and an engaging community. I want to thank my friends, family, who have always encouraged me to take the next steps or another challenge when maybe I didn't even know if I was ready for it. They have always supported me through the highs and lows. But most importantly, I want to thank Jody. I would not have started my career with Siouxland Libraries if you had not hired me. As I step into this role as library director, I'm excited to continue to lead Siouxland Libraries into the future. I'm grateful to have worked with so many different staff members who have inspired me in the ways they connect to the community and the information they need. Moving forward together to provide the best services, collections, and programmings. I'll hand it back to you, Mayor.
All right, thanks, Alicia. All right, thank you, Alicia. As you know, when a new director is appointed, or you may not know, but when the new director is appointed with the city, it requires the advice and consent of the city council as well. So Alicia's appointment will go to the city council at next Tuesday's meeting, June 3. So between now and then, the city council will have the opportunity to meet with Alicia, kick the tires, make sure that she's the right lady. And she will start as the new director on Monday, June 23, pending that advice and consent, and that will follow Jody's retirement. So I also want to give a big thank you to Jody Fick, who is our outgoing director for decades of service to Siouxland Libraries. So Jody, we really thank you for all your service and your work to Siouxland Libraries. Part of a good leader is, what I always talk about is sending the elevator back down and bringing up the next generation of leaders to fill your chair. And we've done that here with Alicia. I look at some of the other leaders you have in the room here. You just really have a great deep bench of people in Siouxland Libraries to keep things humming. So congratulations on a great tenure with the library, and Alicia's going to do a great job and continuing the momentum. So with that, we'll open it up for any questions that any of the media may have for myself or Alicia on this new role.
Kelly? Alicia, you talked about how thankful you were for Jody and helping you in your time with Siouxland Libraries. Is there anything she's taught you that you'll take into your new director role?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is something we talk about all the time is I'm a fast actor. I see something and I want to go grab it. One thing that she's really helped me develop over the years is that slow down and kind of strategically think about where we want to head and stuff like that. So definitely that strategic thinking she's instilled in me.
Okay, and then my second question, what is your number one priority going into this new role?
I think it'll be the same. It's, meeting the needs of our community and engaging with them and connecting to that information that they need.
The mayor mentioned like micro branches versus the branch system that we have now. What would that look like if that were to be implemented?
I guess I wouldn't be able to get into details of that, but I know there's just a variety of technologies out there that we're always exploring. How can we incorporate other avenues, other technologies to continue to serve our community better than we are today?
I would like to speak of that because if I have a little color, I was just in Clearwater, Florida. And I was out on a run and I went past the Clearwater Aquatics and Library little complex, and they had a mini library and their outdoor pool was in one little complex. And I think that's a route, and I'm not going to tell her how to do her job because I only have a year left, but I think those are the things we have to start considering when we build Frank Olson's or we build the Keene Park and we already have families coming there. Why not put another 2,500 square feet onto that with some opportunities for additional culture, recreation, library amenities onto those facilities. So I meant to take a picture of it and share it with you guys, but I was on a run and didn't have my camera. But I've seen it in other communities, and I think that's something that we could look at rather than $5, $7, $10 million libraries. Let's attach it to already existing facilities that we are building, and so the library can be in more parts of the city and the community. So I think we're constantly looking at ways, how can we deliver services, bring the services to the people in more areas than maybe making the people come to us. So.
Question for you, Alicia. You're taking the helm of the library system during a time when libraries at the national level are facing some criticism and threats to funding, and we've seen that at the state level here. How are you, for lack of a better word, how are you kind of steeling yourself for some of those challenges or questions on book bans or any of those kinds of tricky topics that might come up during your tenure?
Well, I've fortunately been a part of a lot of the conversations we've had. I currently am on the admin team at Siouxland, so we'll continue to do what we've been doing, and I'll continue to lean on our entire team and our policies that we have at the library to move forward.
I want to follow up on what Megan just said. What is your message directly to some of the parents groups or even legislators who do have thoughts, concerns about books that are in the library, access, age appropriateness, that kind of thing? What do you say to them?
I guess I would say, come talk to us. We love interacting with our community. We love having conversations, and we want to make sure that everyone understands where we're coming from or what our policies are, and making sure that we have materials for everyone in our community.
All right, well, thanks for your time today. Alicia's available if you want to grill her one-on-one, so appreciate it.